Thanks for watching tonight, The Ed Show here on MSNBC. Without a deal to fund it by next Friday, the United States government is going to shut down. And today, Republicans drew a line in the sand and said they're willing to let it happen. Just don't blame them if it does. And keep in mind, next Friday is April 8th, a week before tax day, which means if Republicans shut down the government, it won't just be Social Security checks that aren't going out. It would be tax returns as well. That line today was drawn by House Republican leader Eric Cantor. Cantor said that he will no longer agree to any stopgap measures to keep funding at current levels unless Democrats agree to tens of billions of dollars in more cuts. Republicans will let the government come to a halt and then try to blame Democrats for it. Well, right, because, it'll just be one big coincidence if the government shuts down 4 months after the Tea Party takes power. Look, I don't think the public's going to be fooled on this a bit. Even Republican Senator Lindsey Graham said today, I don't think the government shutdown is politically in the Republican Party's interests. Well, House Speaker John Boehner didn't quite draw Cantor's line, but he did repeat the ridiculous claim that he wants to cut spending because it's going to lead to a better environment and create jobs in America. So, Mr. Boehner, you just never seem to explain any of that. And even though Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer was overheard telling other Democrats to call Boehner's cuts extreme, which they are, Democrats remain stuck fighting the Republican battle over how much to cut. Well, instead of reminding Americans that Republicans just cut taxes for the rich again, and that way is the way they want to create jobs and grow out of this recession. Look, the bottom line is this. This isn't going to be easy. It's going to hurt a lot of people. With us tonight is Congresswoman Jan Shakowsky, Democrat of Illinois. Congresswoman, good to have you with us tonight. Thanks so much.
Ed.
What happened? Who gets the blame if the government shut down?
It's clearly going to be the Republicans that should get the blame. Look, if they want to cut the budget, there are plenty of ways to do it. They could start with the $4 billion that we give every year to the oil and gas companies, even as we're paying through the nose at the pump every day. Or the offshore tax evaders who don't have to pay taxes when they take their corporate headquarters overseas, or outsource American jobs with tax incentives. So there are ways to cut the budget, but not through cutting programs for Meals on Wheels for frail seniors, or immunization programs for children, or nutrition programs, or college grants so that middle-class families can have their kids go to college. Or how about the tsunami warning systems that they want to cut? Or even the IRS so that they can't collect all the taxes that need to be collected. Their proposals are absolutely insane. And in fact, the economists are saying that their programs are going to cost 700,000 job losses.
It's going to cost jobs, there's no doubt. But now the question is, are the Democrats ready to go to the firewall to protect all of those cuts and keep the ball in the Republicans' court, let them decide whether the government gets shut down or not? I mean, what are you willing to do?
Well, if it becomes a compromise, are we going to let 6 million frail, homebound seniors lose their Meals on Wheels, or 3 million? I think that's not a choice that we can make. I think we can offer cuts, and if they won't accept the reasonable, rational cuts that all Americans agree, like oil and gas companies, then I think that we have to say, then it is your fault. We cannot make those kinds of compromises that hurt working and middle-class Americans.
So, Congresswoman, you're saying tonight that you would not go along with cutting tens of billions of more dollars, and that's exactly what the Republicans are calling for, that you're willing to roll that dice and just let the political blame goes where it goes. And I guess forget the political blame. It's going to hurt a lot of people, but you think that you could politically survive this, that this would be the right move for the Democrats to stand up to these cuts?
These people have to understand they may control the House of Representatives for now, but they don't control the Senate and they don't control the White House, and that means that as responsible elected officials, they need to negotiate.
You think the president should weigh in on this? You think the president should weigh in on this?
Well, I think the president will be weighing in on this because we're not going to be able to. He will not sign legislation, I don't believe, that's going to make those drastic cuts. And you know, the wheels are really falling off the Republican leadership. And there is an event by the Tea Party on Thursday called the Continuing Revolution. Isn't that cute? And it's the target of the Tea Party event is the Republicans because they're losing patience, these Tea Partiers, saying, and so I think that they are really holding John Boehner hostage, and he doesn't know what to do.
All right, well, what about that? Do you think that maybe Boehner and Cantor are waiting for the Tea Partiers to get out of town and then they're going to cut a deal with you?
Well, I think they certainly have to make some agreement, but it has to be a rational agreement. We cannot keep backing up and taking more money from the middle-class people and not doing anything about big oil or the big corporations taking our jobs.
Congresswoman Jan Shakowsky, great to have you with us.